Alright, hello everyone. So, sorry I couldn't be here today. I am going to postpone when your project for the augmented reality is due. So, it's not due Friday, it will be due next Tuesday. So, that will give you a little extra time. Today, I'm going to give you a little mini lesson on Google SketchUp. So, if you go to your Spotlight and you type in SKET, SketchUp will pop up, and if you click on that, it will open. And once you've opened it, I then want you to go to File and New or Command End, and you will open up this, and you'll see a woman standing in the middle of a green field. But don't worry, we're going to build her a really cool house. And so your project for today is to build a really cool house. So it is up to you as to what it looks like and what it's made of and everything like that. So, but I want you to be creative. So let me show you some of the tools up here. So this is the toolbar up here. And the first thing I'm going to start by doing is using the zoom tool. So if I click on this and I left click here and I drag down, it will zoom out. If I go up, it will zoom in. So I'm left clicking, dragging down, and dragging up. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So that's the zoom tool right here. Next tool I want to show you is the rectangle tool right here. So if I come over here and I just click right here and I hold down and I drag this open, I can create a nice little rectangle. Now you notice if I get a diagonal, I now have a square. All the sides are equal, so I'm going to make it a rectangle. So I'm going to leave it right there. So now you can't live really on a slab of concrete, so I actually need to build this up. So if you look at this tool right here, this is the push-pull tool. So if I click on this, this is really cool. Now watch what happens when I hover right on top of this slab. It turns, you can see it kind of highlights. And so now if I left click and I go up, I'm now, bye-bye, unfortunately encasing her in a slab of concrete. But don't worry, I'm going to rescue her very soon. So if I come over to the orbit tool, which is this blue one, and click on this, I can rotate around, up and down, all around just by left clicking and spinning and looking. I can even look from underneath. So I'm going to go to ground level and I'm going to look right from the side, and I'm going to come over and I'm going to grab that rectangle one again, and I'm going to see how it automatically kind of magnetizes itself to the edge when it gets there in red. And I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to come over and I'm going to draw a nice little rectangle right there. And I'm going to go back to the orbit tool and I'm going to spin it around a tiny bit, and I'm going to grab that push tool one more time, and this time I'm going to push in, and you see I can go all the way in if I want, or I can actually pull all the way out, but I'm going to push it in just a tiny bit. And now I'm going to use this tool right here. This is the select tool. And if I click on this part right here and I click on delete on my keyboard, I have now just deleted the inside chunk of that building. So now we can see her inside. So I've saved her. Yay, she's alive. And so there she is. So now what I can do is, if I wanted to add a window, I could come over here and I could add a window. So I could even add a round window. I could click on this and I could go right there and add a little round window right there. And I could add another little round window right there and add one over here if I wanted that was a little bigger. And if I use this push tool again, let me rotate a little bit so we can see the depth. Actually, I'll skip the push tool. If I just now come over and click on this, click, delete, click, delete, click, delete, and come over to rotate. There she is. Hi. And she's on the inside. Kind of cool. So now, let's say I wanted to come over here, and I'm going to zoom out. So I'm going to grab that and come out like this. If I now came over and I grab this, you see how when I move this, it goes right to the corner? I come over to there, come over to there, come over to there, and it selects it all for me. I've all selected that. Now if I click on this one, I can pull this out and I can drag this out a little bit and make that a little wider if I wanted to. And this pan tool right here, this one, will let me slide it this way and that way. And I can come back and I can look in. So I made that a little bit wider in there for her, the house. So now I'm going to add a roof. So how do we add a roof? Well, let me show you. So if I come here and we grab the top of this by clicking right here like this, and I just pull this up a little bit higher. We've now made that a lot higher. You can see that. So I want to turn this into a roof. So I'm going to zoom out like this. And I'm going to grab this pencil tool now. Now watch what happens. Do you see how it automatically will detect the midpoint? Kind of nice. So there's the center. So I don't have to worry about measuring or adding. I just come right there and it'll drop right to the midpoint. And I can come over here and click right there. And then I can come up back to the midpoint and I can come over here. Now watch again. I don't have to worry about where this is even, because watch what happens. That little dotted line shows up as soon as it's even. And now I can come over here to this push tool and I can slice this right off. Wow! Right off the top. Just push it away. Gone. And now I have my roof, which is kind of cool. There's my roof. There she is inside. Hello. Alright, so now we've got all this stuff. So now let's do some fanciness here. Now if I wanted to make extra floors and levels, I could do that. But I'm showing you the basics, so that's where I want you to get creative if you want to do second floors and wings and things like that. But we're going to come up to Window. And if we go down to Materials, now I can come over here. And if I click on this, let's see here. If I click on materials and I come in here, you can see that I can actually choose different things. So if I click on brick and cladding, I can choose what my house is going to be made out of. So you see all these cool brick. So let's say I wanted to choose this. And now it's automatically going to pick this paint bucket and it's full of this brick. So if I click there and I click there and I rotate around and I click on this again. There we go, and I rotate it around one more time, and I grab my brick, and I dump it on there. There we go, we got my bricks, so my house is nice and bricked up. There we go, and now let's say I want to do the roof. So I click on this, and I find where it says roofing, and I pick the shingles. So let's say I like those shingles right there, and again, I'll come over here, dump those shingles on the top. And I'll rotate around to the other side and I can dump some more shingles on the top. There we go. And I click on that and I rotate back down. And if I click on X, it'll hide that away. So let's say now I wanted to add, let's say a porch. Let's say I want to add a front porch. Well, watch this. If I come here and I click on this and I go right to here, and I go across here and I grab a little rectangle just like that, and I rotate this to the side a little bit, and I use this push and pull tool again. See how it highlights things as it goes down where that arrow is pointing? So if I do that and I drag out, there we go, I put a nice little front porch on this place, so I can rotate that around. Kind of cool. And if I come from underneath, I can now build the pillars by coming in here, and I could just drag in a nice little rectangle right there. There's square, and again, if I come right over here, see how it lines it up for you? It's kind of cool. I get a nice little square right there, and if I grab this, see how it selects that one, and I come down. Now this, if I go, see how I drag over to the corner here? That's going to tell me it's the exact height as that. That's kind of cool, and I can do right there. And if I drag this one down again, I come down here, and I come to this corner, see how it automatically makes it the exact same height as that? And I end there. And now I rotate this around, and now I have this cool little front porch. Kind of awesomeness. Alright, so now a few more things, and then I'm going to let you get to work. Come into my window right here. If I click on components, this is where I can kind of fill my house with some things here. So let's say I'm looking for I don't know, landscape. And it's going to take me to the 3D warehouse. Oh, all right, now here we have some good stuff. Ooh, let's say I want this little waterfall. I click on this waterfall. Oh, there we go. And there we go. Whoa, check that out. And I put that little waterfall in there. How cool is that? And I rotate this, and there's my little waterfall. Got that there, and let's say I wanted to find something else. Let's say I wanted to put in some architecture. Again, it will come into here, and it has doors, it has windows, it has whatever. So let's say I wanted retail. So you got all this cool stuff. So let's say for whatever reason I wanted a male mannequin. I double click on that, and there we go. I have some male mannequin artwork in front of my house out by the water fountain. Kind of cool. And I can look in here, and let's say I want a grocery cart. For whatever reason, there's a grocery cart in front of my house. So you can do all this cool stuff. Now, I want to tell you right now, when you show me this, when you save it, I'm going to show you how to save it right now. When I come to look at this on Monday or Tuesday, I do not want to see your entire yard filled with clutter from the component section. I'm more interested in your house. So I'm going to tell you right now, you are going to be graded on the creativity of your house, not how many things you can pile up in your yard. All right? So did everyone hear that? Do not pile up a bunch of junk in your yard. I was just kind of showing you how you could grab things from the 3D warehouse to add to your design. All right, so now how do we save this? File, and we say save as, and we come in here, and you call this as whatever. Now you notice you're going to save it just as this top one right here. Just keep it on that, and you're going to call it your name, obviously. So if I said this was 2B Jeff, and I'll call it house, just like that, and save it to your desktop. And then after you save it to your desktop, I want you to put it into my Dropbox. So from the desktop, Command K, type in Optimus like that, and then it won't say that on yours. You're gonna have to log in, and you go to my Dropbox and then drag that into my Dropbox. All right, if you have any questions, email me, call me, text me, let me know. I think you'll have fun with this. It's a really cool program that can do a lot of cool stuff. Again, I'm looking for your creativity in building your home and making it unique and seeing how much you can do with it. I'm not looking to see how many things you can pile up in your front yard. All right, and with that, I'm going to open up my QuickTime player, and I am out of here.